Hello and welcome to the transcription explanation of this design. It was done using Loren Sherman's script, which uses dots and lines combined with these four different stems to make our consonants. For example, an F is a deep divot with three lines ending on it, which our first letter here at the bottom of our first word has a deep divot with 1, 2, 3 lines on it. And I'm going to do an interesting comparison between my design and then I think one of the most popular apps variation of this same quote. So here we also have an F with an O attached to it. You see those 1, 2, 3 lines attached to this deep divot? That's the F. And then we have an O by itself on my design. And if the O is attached to a consonant stem, it's like a bead on a string. So O's are always on the inside of the word circle, and if they're by themselves, they're just hanging out inside the word circle. Otherwise, they're like a bead on a string attached on these consonant stems. And if I attach my consonants, vowels to consonants, I tend to erase the line behind it, like this O here on this N-O. But anyway, there is the O on that design. And here we go to our next letter. So read bottom counterclockwise, which is why it's set up like this. And this one is set up left to right because if you imagine an infinitely large circle, bottom counterclockwise is left to right. But anyway, here's our next letter. It's a deep divot. It's a shallow divot. I can't talk. A shallow divot, so in this row, which is a 50% or less completed circle, so like that, with 3 dots, 1, 2, 3 dots for the R, and those little tiny 3 dots there for this R. So R, and then we have another deep divot, just like this one, and it has one line ending on it. So this deep divot with one line, and lines that pass through don't count, so any line passing through the stem doesn't count. But lines that end on the stem do count. And these lines, they can curve, they can be straight, whatever. The app always does them straight. But anyway, here we have the G, because it's a deep divot with one line on it, with an E attached inside it. And that vowel, that E, can go anywhere inside this consonant stem. And if it's by itself on the word circle, it's on that line. So long as it's not outside the word circle, looking like an A, or on the line of the stem and looking like an O, we're fine. So here we have that E, just like that E there. And then we have another shallow divot with no modifiers this time. So it's just a T, just like that there. So here's forget. And then we have me. And my me is very centered. It's entirely concentric circles because an M is a circle inside the word circle with 3 lines on it. So I've got that line, and that line. And yeah, again, this is a curved line, and we can tell it's a line because we can see the curve protruding from this M here. So it ends here and it ends there. But 1, 2, 3 lines on that M, just like 1, 2, 3 lines on that M, and the E hanging out right in the middle of it. So there's the me. And then we have our next word here, bottom of the word circle, is this guy. And this is a line coming from this N, and this is a line coming from that I, and this is decoration. This is also decoration, connecting 2 lines, and this is a line from this M. So a bit of rambling there about what these guys all are. But anyway, N, because it's got one line ending on it, and an O, like a bead on a string, except I erased the line behind it because I think it looks a bit nicer without that line going through the middle. Anyway, so just like this N, O. And then we have the T, the shallow divot with no lines ending on it. So there's the not. And then we have our last word here. Bottom of the word circle is here. We have a shallow divot with 3 dots, so that's another R, just like that R here and that R. There's the R. You can't really see the dots in this one. I don't like having the star backgrounds in these. I probably shouldn't have done that because the dots look like stars. But anyway, 3 dots makes that an R. And then we have the O hanging out just like that O. This one's attached on the app. And then 1, 2, 3 lines on the M. And this M looks like it's only got 2 lines on it because the app decided to stack them. Yay! The app likes to put lines on top of each other, so you can't tell that there's 2 lines. It looks like this is a P because it's got 2 lines on it. Apps have issues, but it tried to have 3 lines on that M. But anyway, 1, 2, 3 lines on that M, and then the A outside the word circle, and then continuing around. Here's the N with the 1 line ending on the N stem, just like that here. It's hard to see, but the line ends on the N right there, and then the I goes towards the middle. So even though this is kind of going up rather than towards the direct middle, as long as it's going more towards the middle than towards the outside, it's an I. So this is the word circle, right? And this is a little bit closer to this side than here, so we know that this is more towards the middle than this. But this is a pretty close one as far as that's I, not being able to tell if it's an I or U. But it is going more towards the middle than towards the outside. I ramble, sorry. Anyway, so N-I. Oh, and if there's ever a consonant and a vowel team, so the consonant and vowel stacked together, you read the consonant first and then the vowel. So anyway, there's the N-I there, and then the A at the end. So there's that A, there's this A. So R-O-M-A-N-I-A. So yeah, that's my design. And this is pretty typical app design. So yeah. I'm going to do one more quick read through. F-O-R-G-E-T, F-O-R-G-E-T, M-E, N-O-T, N-O-T, R-O-M-A-N-I-A, R-O-M-A-N-I-A, except this M is a P because it's only got 2 lines ending on it. So, yeah. That is that, and I hope you like your design. I think it looks pretty great. Bye.